It is no secret that being a first-time Czechoslovakian Wolfdog owner is not an easy task, especially not alone. After the first year, I had planned on doing an update, but time and life just ran away from me, so now I'm doing a mix of year 1 and 2. Year 1 was by far the hardest and almost a traumatic experience. I can laugh and smile at it now, but it was truly chaotic. I was inexperienced with the breed even though I had read a lot about it for almost 9 years before getting Lumi. It is just so different reading and then being in the moment yourself. It's so easy to say, oh, I can do that, or I'll just do this, I will follow this trainer's advice, and so on. But when you're in it and you have to action your thoughts and words, it suddenly becomes very real and you realize how hard it is. I think maybe raising any dog breed alone would be a challenge, but I think Czechoslovakian Wolfdog is just something very different. Of course you can put them in the same category as working dogs like a German Shepherd or Malinois. Malinois? I don't know how to say that. But I just think the Czechoslovakian Wolfdog also comes with a set of completely different challenges as well, due to their close bond with the wolves. The first year she kept testing boundaries non-stop. It was a never-ending battle, and I know now I should have been more consequent and set clear rules in order to combat some of it. It has been really hard to recognize what is a breed-specific behavior and what is a normal correctable behavior. The consequences of it is that a lot of her bad habits or things she got away with is still things I have to work on now to correct, which sucks a bit, but it's a learning journey for both of us. The puppy teeth phase was something I don't want to experience again. I believe some call it the raptor phase. I called her a land shark. She would bite anything and everything, and the teeth were so unbelievably sharp, like razor blades cutting through the skin like it's nothing. It sometimes made training hard because something simple as giving her a treat could result in a bloody thumb. In general, she was such a mouthy puppy. I tried everything, all the advice people gave me in order to make her stop biting, but nothing worked, and it was a very frustrating time. She also had really bad temper tantrums, which made me believe she was becoming an aggressive dog, especially combined with the biting. I remember reading a comment once from someone who unfortunately was given a Czechoslovakian Wolfdog without any pre-warning of what kind of dog it is, and she described it as if she had brought a wild animal into her home. And I could totally relate to that. It felt more wild than a normal tame household dog. When I think back, it sometimes feels like a bad dream. I remember how she was kind of immune to any sort of correction. I tried so many different things, even things I swore I'd never do. Positive reinforcement training did nothing, punishment did nothing, yelling did nothing, redirecting did nothing, distractions, nothing. I felt so overwhelmed, and she never gave me a break. It's like having a child that just learned to walk. You cannot keep them out of sight for just 1 second. So my mind was constantly switched on, never fully resting. At times I found myself in a bubble of confusion, as it felt like no one really shares the reality of owning a puppy. Yes, a lot of videos show a disobeying puppy, and then they show how to turn it into a nice, obedient puppy in just 2 minutes. But what if it doesn't take 2 minutes? What if it doesn't work at all? All of a sudden I felt like I was failing. I was filled with this shame and embarrassment. Am I good enough for this role as a dog owner? I remember one evening I told a friend of mine she doesn't wag her tail when she's with me. I knew that tail wagging isn't something all dogs do. It boils down to personality, but in between those lines I more likely said, we aren't bonding at all, and that was painful. Loneliness has also been a feeling I couldn't shake off. You'd think that with a dog you wouldn't feel lonely, and sure enough she did spice up my day and we had some good moments. But the hard work, training, constantly cleaning up pee and nobody really understanding what you're going through. That was very lonely. I have the feeling other new dog owners must have gone through the same, but sharing the truth could possibly create unwanted judgment, so it's so much easier to just suffer in silence and only share the happy moments. I'm scared of sharing these things too, but I believe it is important to highlight that not everything is as simple, easy, or cute as it seems. When Lumi were reaching 2 years old, I noticed a shift in her behavior. She's still wild, mischievous, and full of energy, but my words have so much more power now. Also, maybe because I'm better at setting consequences, so now she actually reacts to me saying no. It's not that she won't try again in a few seconds, but the fact that she reacts and has somewhat respect of me is a huge change. She's also much better at relaxing at home, which gives me so much more freedom, and I don't have to constantly keep an eye on her. I still have to when she's awake because these dogs will entertain themselves if they get bored. I know some people will say, well, with an active dog like that, you need to give them exercise and whatnot to keep them from being bored and destructive. And don't worry, I do, but I'm only human and sometimes I can't entertain her at the exact time when she wants to be entertained. We do play games and walk multiple times a day to keep her brain and body active. Something that shifted as well was that she became so much more loving towards me. The first year I was sure that she would never be a cute cuddle dog, but I was wrong. She loves to snuggle on the sofa, belly rubs and hugs and kisses. It's just that it has to be more of a mutual respect of knowing when. A little bit like a cat. They might walk up to you and demand attention, but then when they walk away they are kind of done with you. It's hard to explain. I just felt like the first year she wasn't interested in anything like that, but now she wants that kind of attention. It just melts my heart extra much because I was so sure that that would not be a thing. We have had a lot of challenges and her health wasn't always good, so I feel like sometimes I worried and focused more about the health issues than the behavior or training issues, which is a weird balance to be in because all of them are equally important, but where do you spend your energy the most? And talking about where to spend energy, she has never been a big fan of kids and teenagers, even though she has been around them here and there when she was growing up. And the ones she knows from growing up, she's totally okay with today. But if it's strangers, she has no interest at all. And I have been okay with that until it suddenly turned into a full fear thing. It kind of just came out of the blue, and I suspected it was a late fear phase. Either way, we had to focus multiple walks a week on dealing with that fear, and at times it went really well and it seemed like it was under control, but suddenly it will come right back. So it is an ongoing thing we work on. I don't ever expect her to love them, but I expect for her to not fear them, as it is a very dangerous state of mind to be in. So yeah, I feel like I sometimes spend too much brain juice on solving one problem and I put the other problems on hold, whereas I should have more of an equal priority to them all. Having a dog opens up for a whole lot of self-reflection. You learn a lot about yourself and have to work on changing old habits, and it can be hard at times. I'm not perfect and I have definitely made a lot of mistakes through the years that has gone by, and I will probably continue to make mistakes. Still, till this day, she is too mouthy for my likings. However, it is more gentle and seems more like a gesture of play. She does still get tantrums, but I am more aware of them and why they happen. It usually is triggered if she is overtired or frustrated. Learning her patterns of behavior has been so helpful in preventing the tantrums. Sometimes when she gets zoomies, it can turn into an overstimulated tantrum, so I always have to be careful when she gets zoomies. I know that I need to be better at acting as a leader and not give in to her manipulation, even if it's the cutest thing ever. We also need a big focus on the separation anxiety, as it is kind of stalling a lot of things in my life. She needs to have more patience and learn that she's not always going to be the center of attention. Yeah, there's so much to work on, and As I'm now thinking about it all, I remember this new thing that just started a few weeks ago. She usually have been very playful and want to greet other dogs and ask them to play, but now I guess she realized that she's not a puppy anymore. So now when we meet other dogs, it's like she wants to figure out their ranks, I guess. She definitely has shown more signs of dominance over younger dogs, especially females. So we are kind of redoing the good old ignore dogs we walk past training again. So yeah, we are going into 2025 with a whole baggage of things we still need to work on. But that's okay. I'm not perfect, she's not perfect. This journey is a bumpy road, and I hope that you enjoy following along. I appreciate you for watching, and if you have any questions, leave a comment or DM me. I feel like I could add so much more to this video as it's been some crazy 2 years, but I think I will end it here. So, goodbye!